Hi, and welcome back to this week's Parsha Shir on Sefer Netivot Shalom. In our Parsha this week of Parashat Naso, we read about the beautiful psukim of Birchas Kohanim, of the blessing the Kohanim give to the Jewish people. And the last of the three psukim of the blessing says, Yisa Hashem panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. Hashem should turn his countenance towards you and grant you peace, grant you shalom. That value of shalom is so supreme in Jewish thought. And Netivot Shalom in this week's Parsha addresses himself to the concept of shalom, to the idea of shalom, and to the question of why it takes on such central importance in Jewish thought. He gives a few examples of just how central it becomes. It says, "Ubemedrash gadol hashalom she'ein chosem kol hatfila ela shalom, ve'ein chosem birchas kohanim ela shalom." We see the value of shalom. After all, it is the climax, the conclusion of every tefillah, of every amidah that we say is Hamevarech es amo Yisrael b'shalom. The ending of every amidah is the blessing of shalom. It must be of supreme importance after you go through chonin adas, and after you go through slicha, and chazar b'tshuva, and refuah, and parnasa, and tzadikim, and Yerushalayim, and Mashiach, and Shema Kolenu, and Hodah. The final rank of the entirety of the amidah is the bracha of shalom. And now you see also, not only does the Amidah end with Shalom, but Birchas Kohanim ends with Shalom. It must be the climax of everything. It must be the supreme value. Pirkei Avos, it says, Hillel Omer have mitalmidav shel Aaron, Ohev Shalom, V'rodev Shalom, Ohev Asabrios, and Mekarven LaTorah, that the supreme value is for us to emulate the ways of Aaron HaKohen, and the reason why we're supposed to emulate Aaron is because he was an Ohev Shalom, he loved peace. He was a Rodev Shalom. He chased after peace. Peace was his aspiration, as peace should be our aspiration. You can give countless examples of Mamrei Chazal, of Midrashim that speak to the elevated value of Shalom. Specifically, the Sifrei in our Parsha mentions Gadol HaShalom, Sheshakul Keneged Kol Maaseh Bereshis, Shenemar Os Shalom, Ubereis hakol, hainu shebrias hakol, shkula laosa shalom. Our medrash equates the value of shalom to the creation of the entirety of the world, since it says, Osha shalom, Hashem is the one who makes peace, ubereis hakol, like we say in davening. He makes peace and he creates everything. So making peace and creating everything must be equatable. That's quite an amazing statement. That the value that we can, the level that we can reach by achieving peace is the level that HaKadosh Baruch Hu reached after creating the entirety of the world. That's the merit of bringing peace into this world. And so the Netivot Shalom addresses himself to this question of why Shalom is such a supreme, foundational, pivotal value in Jewish thought. Lichora hadavar nale mibinaseinu, ma shechazal ha'amidu es hashalom b'madrega gavoa kol kach. It's beyond our understanding, our comprehension, why Chazal elevated this idea of shalom, the value of shalom, to such lofty heights. Shemikol ze ole, ki bavada ein mashmau shalom kipshuto, shurak heder machlokas. It cannot be that the meaning of shalom in all these Mamarei Chazal, the achievement of shalom, is nothing more than the avoidance of machlokas, of dispute. That's how we might normally translate shalom. That's how we might normally, colloquially refer to shalom. Okay, people have shalom when they're not fighting anymore. It can't be that lack of fighting is truly what shalom is meant to be. Shalom must be something much more supreme than that. If it's shakol keneged kol maaseh bereshis, if it's equatable to the creation of the entire world, if it's our main aspiration, if it's the chosam atfila, it's the chosam birchas kohanim, it can't be something so minimal as eliminating machlokas or debate. V'chein mashma mahaksi dechsiv os shalom bimromav, shakadosh baruch hu os shalom bein malachim b'srafim, v'harei b'mromim ein yetzer hara v'lo shayach b'klal hamachlokas. It can't make sense to say that shalom is simply the avoidance of machlokas. After all, we learn that Hashem is os shalom bimromav. Hashem makes shalom in the upper levels of the heavens. And we know that by the malachim, by the angels in the upper level of heavens, there is no such thing as yetzer hara. There's no such thing as machlokas. There's no such thing as divisiveness, as fighting of ego. And therefore, if there's no such thing as fighting of machlokas, then what exactly is Hashem achieving by creating Shalom Bimroma? Shalom must be something much more than simply avoiding machlokes. Uma yesh laso sham shalom. There's no concept of Shalom Bimroma if Shalom is simply the avoidance of machlokes. Al korchach the Shalom hu madrega chiyuvis. It's not Shalom that is the absence of machlokes. Shalom must be something positive. Must be something additive. It must be something proactive and very, very elevated. Elyona, hashayeches be'elyonim u'tachtonim, something relevant in the heavens, something relevant on earth. Sha'atorah kula shalom v'chol habriya misnaheges b'shalom. The Torah is equated to shalom. That the creation of the world is equated to shalom. It must be something quite supernal. V'yesh lomar ha'inin al pi mashakasav arag hamagid b'kashnis. He says we could perhaps answer this question based on the words of the Kashnitzer Magid and his understanding of the concept of shalom. He addresses the question of Hata Masha Nikra Kadosh Baruch Hu Shalom. Why is one of the names of a Kadosh Baruch Hu Shalom? He says, Hu kakasuv osta shalom bimromav, ki kibalnu rabuseinu, ki ein lechadavar nivra she'enenu morkav bedalig yisodos, eish, ruach, mayim, afar. We learn, says the Kashnitzer Magid, based on our wisdom of our sages, that everything in the world, this is a medieval concept, everything in the world is made up of the four elements, of fire, of wind, of water, and of earth. Those four yesodos, those four pillars, those four ingredients, those four baselines for everything created in the world. Vehem yesodos misnagdim. If you think about it, those four elements are actually opposing elements. Ki mayim mechabim ha'esh, v'haruach menapcho. After all, water would extinguish fire, wind would blow out fire. If you try to balance all these four, they're actually opposed to one another in many different ways, if many different calculations. It's impossible to understand what our Chazal meant, what the medieval sages meant, what the medieval scholars meant by saying that everything created in the world is made up of these four elements, when really these four elements are things that oppose each other. How do they coalesce? How do they come together? How do they merge to create anything cohesive? They would always be fighting and falling apart, wiping one another out. The only answer to that question from our philosophical perspective is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes all these four opposites and holds them together as one. Even though in our world they would oppose each other. You put fire and water together, then you have no more fire, you only have water. But in Hashem's world, Hashem can hold those opposites together. That's the miraculousness of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the concept of the Kashnitzer Magid. That's the outlook on the perspective of these four elements. V'hainu, says the Netivot Shalom, shekol habriya shebara HaKadosh Baruch Hu lichora hu male kochos menugadim. We could understand, aside from the concept of these four elements, that the entirety of the creation of the world is of opposites. V'kula pratim mi pratim shonim ha-menugadim v'sochim echad es hasheni. The entire world, every being, every person, every neighborhood, every community, every country, every land, every natural habitat, every animal is the existence of opposites that somehow coalesce together, that somehow are held together in some kind of relationship. Kaitz v'chorev, kor v'chom, yomam v'layla, day and night, heat and cold, winter and summer, the whole world is opposites. Between creatures, there's also opposites, there's also tension, and yet somehow it's all held together. Rak midas hashalom hi koach al tivi, shenatan HaKadosh Baruch Hu bebriya, hamechaberes, umemazeges, kol hayesodas vanigudim v'kol olam yachad v'hayu le'achadim. Because the entire world is made up of opposites in tension, it is only because of the creation of the supernatural power of Shalom, which Hashem instills in the world, that all those opposites are held together and that we have a world that continues to exist, that continues to be united as one. V'hainu she'inyan Shalom hu hashleimus shebabriya ayidei mezigas kol hapratim v'hahat'ama beinehem ad shekol chelek matim lechaveru umashlimo. The level of depth, the level of miraculousness of Shalom is not only that it is able to combine all these opposites and have them coexist, but that through the combination, through holding them together, it actually causes these opposites to complement one another. Shemizug zeh mekayem es habriya. It's the complement of all of these opposites that allows creation to be sustained, that allows individuals to be sustained, that allows the world in its entirety to be sustained. That's the power of Shalom. The power of Shalom is not just to squelch machlokes. It's not the absence of machlokes. It's the ability to bring things which are not even arguing with each other, not even in a state of machlokes, to bring things which are opposite, which are tense, which would negate one another, together, not only allow them to gel and to coalesce and to coexist into one unit, but actually when they come into one unit to actually complement one another. Think about the nature of the world. The fact that we have different seasons, the fact that we have day and night, is absolutely necessary for the sustaining of the world. The fact that we have day and night allows for photosynthesis to occur. It allows for oxygen to be produced. It allows for trees to grow. It allows for so much to happen, aside, of course, from the human being. The fact that the human being is exposed to different elements, which sometimes would be considered to be opposed to one another, is what actually nourishes us, but allows us to take from this and to take from that, and have all those elements complement one another in order to keep us healthy, to keep us alive. The power of Shalom is not just to take away the opposites from the different parts of creation. Rather, it is all of the existence of creation, the existence of the world, that is dependent on Shalom bringing all the opposites together and allow them to complement one another. Just like with the concept of the four elements that we spoke about before. It's not just the fact that water and fire won't negate one another, won't oppose one another. It's the fact that they can be held together to produce something larger called the world, called creation, called whatever exists in society. כך בכל ענייני הבריאה, קיום העולם על ידי השלום, שהוא המזיגה בין כל חלקי הבריאה הנפרדים. לכן, Gadol Hashalom Shishakol Neged Kol Maasav Reishis. With this concept in mind, we can now very well understand the Sifrei on our Parsha, which says that Shalom is equatable to the creation of the entire world, because without Shalom there would be no creation of the world. The creation of the elements of the world, which were filled with opposites and filled with dialectics and filled with tension, would never continue to exist if not for the value of Shalom. So of course Shalom is Shakol Keneged Kol Habriya. So we understand that particular Mar Chazal. What we also understand is why Chazal in general, in all these midrashim, attributed such great importance to the power of Shalom. Because Shalom is the core, it's the foundation, it's the root of every piece of existence. It's not just a nice value, it's not just a value that makes us happy, it's not just a value that fosters prosperity. It's at the root of the existence of the world, of human beings, of every single thing on the face of the earth. And therefore it's the foundation of everything. It's the loftiest goal that we can reach. It's the most godly goal that we can reach, because only HaKadosh Baruch Hu is truly Shalom. That's why his name is Shalom. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu can truly bring everything together into harmony. We can try, we can strive, we can do our part in the human world in creating harmony between opposites, in allowing opposites to complement one each other and to be able to foster one another's growth. But truly, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the master of Shalom, the embodiment of Shalom, the epitome of Shalom, as HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Echad. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the ultimate Shalom. It's the bringing together every single piece of existence into one harmonious whole. This koach, this power that we have to create Shalom, is extremely strong. Al pizeh yesh lomer gam ben midas hashalom, shekasher Yisrael misnagin b'shalom v'achdus, ze mevi shalom b'chol habriya. When we act with Shalom to one another, when we not only eliminate machlokas between ourselves, but we also bring ourselves together in harmony, into one unit, into one whole that coalesces together into a brand new substance called Klal Yisrael, called Bnei Yisrael, which is held together through the midah of Shalom, we not only effectuate Shalom in our lives and in the world, but we effectuate Shalom throughout the entirety of creation. Shalom bimromam, Bimromam bein malachim usrafim, we effectuate shalom even in the highest realms of the angels. V'shalom bein Yisrael la'aviyam shabashamayim. And ultimately, the true goal is that we create harmony and peace not only between Jews, not only in the world, not only between citizens of the world, not only between the angels in the heavens, but between all stages of the world's existence, between us ultimately and HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And the derech, the pathway to be able to get to this trait of shalom is very simple, says Netivot Shalom. Ki ha'avoda la'agil shalom hu hispatos. The idea of getting to shalom, to the place of shalom, is all rooted in the ability to have the humility to step out of yourself and take yourself out of the equation. Kol shoresh hamachlokas novea miyeshus. The entirety of machlokas stems from ego. Now, there's positive ego. Every person needs a little bit of ego, but when ego goes too far, when you can't put yourself aside for anything, yeshuso tofeses kol me'inyanav, as omed hu betokef al inyanav. When you have too much ego, then you stand firm on every single thing. You can never bend. You can never take yourself out of the equation. You can never back down. You can never listen to someone else. You can never make room for the other. But if you take away that yeshus, you curtail that ego and allow yourself the humility to sometimes step back, to sometimes retreat, to sometimes have that tzimtzum, that contraction of self, then you allow for others to exist. If you allow for others to exist with you, despite the fact that you're opposite, then you've achieved shalom. You've achieved true peace, a peace that can not only affect you, but affect the world around you, and affect the heavens, and even affect your relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. May we all be zochem, may we all merit to create shalom in our lives and shalom in this world, and ultimately shalom beinenu lebein avinu shebashamayim. Shabbat, shalom. May this Shabbos bring us much peace.